Boogeyman Ben. Horror Zone.
Hey everyone, it's Boogeyman Ben. Hope everyone's doing well and everyone's having a great day. Today's video is going to be something a little bit different because it's not going to be, it's not going to be about horror films or anything like that. Today's video is going to be about the Transformers series, Transformers movie series that started back in 2007 with the original directed by Michael Bay, who's directed all 4 Transformers films. What prompted me to do this video is I just saw the newest Transformers movie, Age of Extinction, with my brother-in-law yesterday, and the movie's been getting shit on, not only by, online critics, but also mainstream critics. I haven't really read what fan opinion is. It looks like it's about even with the third film. Not as high as the first film, and much. So I was excited to see the new Transformers films. But before I get ahead of myself, I got to talk about the other Transformers films. So I have the other 3 films. I don't have them on Blu-ray. I have them on DVD. And I'm not going to go into great details about this because I don't want to do a whole retrospective on these films, but I do want to talk about them, give you my thoughts on them, and just tell you why I think. So the first Transformers movie, which came out in 2007, I was really kind of skeptical of because at that time, it's like I just didn't know how they would be able to pull off the transforming scenes and just, you're taking something that was a seminal part of my childhood, as well as many people's childhood. The cartoons by Hasbro and the toys and everything. I mean, it was one of my favorite cartoons as a kid, and I loved Optimus Prime. Just a huge fan of that character. But I did like Michael Bay. A lot of people just really crap on Michael Bay, and I like a lot of filmmakers. So by saying that I'm a fan of Michael Bay doesn't mean that I don't like filmmakers like Scorsese or Kubrick. I like sometimes a big action film, and if it's going to be done by somebody, why not have it be Michael Bay? I think Michael Bay has done some tremendous action films. 2 of my favorite action films that he's done are The Rock and Bad Boys 2. I love both of those films and could watch those films over and over again. Is another film I really like that he's done. But yeah, he gets kind of shit on, and critics have never liked him. I remember in film school, my film teachers hated all of his films, and when I was in film school, the only films that had come out of his were Bad Boys, The Rock, and Armageddon. So he hadn't done Pearl Harbor yet, and which is not a film that I hate either. I don't know why some people were really hard on that film, but again, getting off track here. So I just wanted to talk about the Transformers films. So the first one surprised the shit out of me. I actually really liked it. I think it had a good story. I think Shia LaBeouf was great in the film. I actually really liked him as Sam Witwicky. At this time, Megan Fox, I had never seen her in anything, but I thought she was gorgeous and was really well done. I think her and the Shia LaBeouf character had great chemistry in this. I was a little angry that they changed Bumblebee from a Volkswagen to a Camaro, but in the film, the way that it happened, I actually thought it worked, and Bumblebee has always been my favorite character next to Optimus Prime in the movies. But yeah, I thought the action was great. The fact that they got Peter Cullen to come and do Optimus Prime's voice, and he did the voice in the cartoon series, I think is just fantastic. And the fact that he has continued to do the voice through all 4 films is also awesome. I also thought that Hugo Weaving as Megatron was perfect, perfect voice for that. And I just loved this film. I loved the action in it. I thought it had a great story. I had no problem with this film at all, and I was really looking forward to the sequel. So then we would get the sequel in 2009, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. This film is not my favorite. And it's not so much that I don't like action and the type of action that Michael Bay is known for. I think this movie does that just fine. The problem I have with this movie is that it's almost like there's no heart to it. One thing I loved about the first Transformers movies, and this is just my opinion, but I thought there was a lot of heart in the first Transformers movie, especially the relationship between Bumblebee and Sam. Whereas in this movie, I felt like that whole relationship was just sort of stripped away. There was just long periods of dullness in this film, and I just thought that they could have edited it down a little bit more. I think it was just too long. I thought the action scenes were great, but characters that were pretty normal in the first Transformers film were just amped up, especially Sam's parents. I thought they were just kind of just felt like ridiculous. You know, the Sam Witwicky character had a lot of there was just something really interesting about him in the first film, and all I felt like he did in this film was scream. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of Revenge of the Fallen. I like it. It's okay. It's fun to watch once in a while, but it's my least favorite of the Transformers films. It could have been done so much better, and it's a shame. Now, my favorite Transformers film, and I haven't talked about the new film yet, but until the new film came out, Dark of the Moon, I think, is a fantastic sequel, and I wish this would have just been the sequel to the original film. This film has some amazing effects in it. It has a great story in it. I actually like the fact that Megan Fox was not in this film because I felt like the chemistry that she had with Shia LaBeouf in the original was not in the second film, and she just was a distraction. She's a gorgeous woman, but I just didn't think her character was all there in the second film. And I really thought Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, who replaced her in this as Sam's girlfriend, she was just known as a Victoria's Secret model, but she did a better job than Megan Fox, and I liked the chemistry that her and Shia LaBeouf had in this, and I liked that there was more of a heart to this film, and even though there's still some tremendous and fun action scenes in this, I just felt like they got a lot right with this one. I thought the showdown in Chicago is just a tremendous battle scene, and I just love every minute of it. So now going into Transformers: Age of Extinction, of course Shia LaBeouf is not in this one. You have Mark Wahlberg, who takes his place. So pretty much the plot of Transformers: Age of Extinction revolves around the character of Cade Yeager, who's played by Mark Wahlberg. He's kind of a mechanic in Texas. This takes place after the events of Transformers 3, so Chicago's been attacked. They're rebuilding Chicago, but the whole thing is that they're hunting Optimus Prime and the Autobots, the government is, and Cade Yeager and his family get wrapped up in that. And I've heard people just shit on this film completely. I thought I was glad Mark Wahlberg was in this because, like I said, I'm a fan of him, and I thought it was interesting to break off from the Witwicky family and have some new protagonists helping out the Autobots, and also helping fight the Decepticons. Everything I heard about this film was that it was just more of the same. It was too long. The effects we've seen before, they weren't good. The bad acting. There were a couple characters in the film that I wasn't crazy about, but my brother-in-law both talked about it afterwards because we had both seen, the reviews online and on YouTube, and we were going into it because we were just like, let's just go and see it and have fun. And I had a blast with Transformers: Age of Extinction. I have to say, Dark of the Moon has been replaced. Transformers: Age of Extinction is my favorite Transformers movie. And to me, and this is just my opinion, so you guys can disagree with me if you want, but my opinion is this felt more like the cartoon to me. This had a feeling of the Autobots working towards defeating the Decepticons, and I don't know what it was, because I felt like in the other films it was more focused on Sam and his family and his girlfriend, and that wasn't really, there was a relationship in this one with Yeager's daughter and her boyfriend, but it wasn't like the whole basis of the story. I felt like it was just part of the background. It was just like, they were together against his wishes, and that was just sort of like this thing that kind of just caused the brooding between the father and the boyfriend, and I thought that was kind of cool. But for the most part, it was just, the Autobots fighting against, it's like the Autobots coming together and fighting against the Decepticons, and also seeing what had happened after what happened in Chicago in the third film, and how the government is playing into wiping out the Transformers, and they're also working with a Decepticon that is trying to find Optimus Prime. And I just thought, I don't know, it's just like I really liked the whole story. It's a very long film though. It's like 2 hours and 45 minutes, but there was not one moment in that film that I was bored. I had a blast with Transformers. And again, I think people went into this film wanting to hate it. The critics, online critics, mainstream critics, people that weren't a fan of the other films. People just wanted to hate on this film. They don't like Michael Bay. They don't like his style of filmmaking. They think the movie's too long. They think the dialogue is shitty. And I actually thought this dialogue in this film was a lot better, because in the other films there was some of that, especially in 2 and 3, there was some of that humor that just is like, it's not natural humor. It's forced. And I really don't remember too many instances of that in Age of Extinction. I actually thought it was a better script, and it was a better story, and it was exciting, and I really liked the Mark Wahlberg character. I thought Yeager was a really interesting character, and I felt bad for him, and he was someone that I could empathize with. And I liked his daughter, and I liked, like his buddy that works with him, and, it's like, I just really enjoyed every character in this film. There was only maybe a handful of characters I didn't, that weren't my favorites, but I didn't hate them. So yeah, I don't understand the hate towards the new Transformers film. I'm gonna give the movie a 10 out of 10. Age of Extinction and Dark tie for me. But if I had to be honest, I still think I like Age of Extinction more. I just think it was a better film, and the inclusion of the Dinobots was just fucking fantastic. And I really just liked everything about this film. There wasn't one bad thing for me in Age of Extinction. So, real quick, that's my thoughts on the Transformers films, and my thoughts on the new film Age of Extinction. I'm sure I'm probably going to get people telling me that I have no taste, or, whatever. That's just my opinion. There's a lot of films that I like out there, and this just happens to be one where I just wanted to go in and see a cool action film. So say what you must. If you want to share your thoughts with me, put it in the comment section below. I look forward to anybody that wants to say how they feel about this film and this series. Welcome to it. So that's it. That's my thoughts on the Transformers films. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day, and please share your thoughts below. Take it easy. Peace.